Hello everyone, how are you doing? In this video, I will show you a set which is given to me by my good friend Chipperpoke. He managed to reach legend rank last season in GBL, and in this season, in the early set, he's not only going spicy, he's going all shadow, and not only just random shadow Skarmory, shadow Swampert. He's using really spicy shadow Pokemon. So his teams consist of shadow Politoed with an Earthquake, which has devastating power. Obviously he must have used a LATM to get that. He's using Kanto Shadow Ninetails and Probopass. And Probopass with Shadow, it's kind of like Bastiodon, but it's really different because of the moveset. But it has bulk, but not as much as Bastiodon, but it's very tanky. So let's have a look at these exciting matches and very spicy matches. So thank you so much for the submission, Chipperpoke. I appreciate it. So let's look at the battle and see how you did. So first match is first match is Politoed into Skarmory, and this is a neutral matchup, but this Skarmory is running Steel Wing, so it becomes a slightly favorable matchup for Politoed because Steel Wing would be a resisted move. So Chipperpoke goes for a Weather Ball, and it does quite a lot of damage. As you can see, it did about 35% damage, and because it's so quick to get to those moves, it's managed to get a shield here, and Steel Wing I don't think generates that much amount of energy as quickly, so he's going for another Weather Ball. I don't know what came in. It came a Melmetal. He's gonna switch into Shadow Kanto Ninetails, and look at those fire spins. It's doing huge damage, and with the Weather Ball, it may actually be enough to just completely take the Melmetal out at this point, at this health. And it is because of the Shadow, I think. Normal one, he would have maybe survived. In comes a shiny Kanto Raichu. Okay, this is like literally the first day, but in these sets, I think he said to me that there are some really like sweaty battles from like previous rank 10s as well. So sometimes you don't get the glamorous, like in the first few ranks you don't get that many like you get all around the team. So yeah, okay, he manages to take the Raichu out. In comes that Skarmory. He could shield and Weather Ball here, or he could not shield and go for a two shield flex, and I think he's gonna go for a 2 shield flex with 2 Pokemon remaining. In comes that Probopass, and look at the sparks doing huge amount of damage, and I think the Rock Slide here should be enough to take this Skarmory out. So pretty comfortable win with a 2 shield flex. Very well done, very well done. So yeah, in comes the second match. Let's see what he's faced with. It's Politoed into Scrafty. Again, it's a neutral matchup. I think Scrafty can win this match. If you can get a couple of power up and then throw a Foul Play, should be able to take Politoed. I'm not sure about that. Probably be best to check PvPoke on that. So he lets the first one through. It's a power up punch. He got quite a lot of energy, so he should be able to throw a Weather Ball here, and then should be able to get to his next Weather Ball very quickly. He gets the first shield, which is very good. He's gonna go for he's farming a little bit more, almost to a 2 Weather Ball, so he just needs, I think, one more Mud Shot in between to get another Weather Ball through, and then that Weather Ball did quite a lot of damage. Here, I don't know if he's gonna shield. If it's a foul play, it will kill. If it's not a foul play, he will survive. Correctly calls the bait, throws the weather ball. And this weather ball, I don't know if it will be enough to take it out. 1 HP and a weather ball dream, but no, gets both of the shields. So 2-0, 2 shields up, looking quite good. Running down the clock, so that's one thing I don't do quite a lot. Like even if in this situation I don't run down the clock, so that's something I need to learn. So I think he's gonna try farm down, but the counter is doing quite a lot of damage because the counters are adding up and the power up punches are adding up, and gets one of the shield. He's gonna commit to the farm down, and he manages to get the farm down in. In comes a Azumarill, in comes Probopass, and comes a Shadow Victory Bell, which is not good because of it's a neutral matchup. Razor Leaf is doing neutral, and he will be able to get a Rock Slide through, and you can see how much damage a Rock Slide does. But those Shadow Razor Leaves are doing quite a lot of damage to it as well. Here, I don't know if he's gonna shield. Oh, he's shielding. I probably would have let it go and farmed up with counter Ninetails, because I would be scared to. He manages to live and throw a Thunderbolt, which is an amazing play here. But if I were to battle, I would have been scared of being completely farmed down. And the Azumarill takes the Probopass out. In comes counter Ninetails, but I don't. If he had Solar Beam here, this could have been a one-shot to the Azu, but I think the Azu will outpace it to the next move, which it does, and unfortunately he doesn't win this match. Ice Beam is enough to take Ninetales out. Alright, next match, let's have a look. Is against a former rank 24 legend player, so legend versus legend. Let's see how it goes. This is gonna be a very good thing to see if he's gonna do well or not. So Farfetch'd into Politoed. The Leaf Blades will, I think, one-shot it because it's Shadow. I don't know, maybe it will survive with like 3 HP, but yeah, it's not gonna be good. So he's gonna throw the weather ball, and he lets it go, and it does so much damage. The opponent is throwing quite a lot of counter, and probably has 1.5 Leaf Blade in there. So 1 Leaf Blade comes through, gets the first shield, and he's gonna throw the weather ball. This weather ball will definitely KO if he doesn't shield. So I'm expecting a shield to come up. Yep. And the counters are coming in, and he tries to catch a Leaf Blade, but ends up killing the Sirfetch'd anyways, which is good. So the weather ball here would do quite a lot of damage. I don't know if he's gonna shield. He's not gonna shield. Let's see how much a weather ball from a Pelipper does to kind of until it manages to survive. So I'm quite surprised that it actually manages to survive, because it's a Shadow and is super effective. Throws the Psyshock, gets the last shield, and now I think Chipperpoke is looking in a good position. I think, again, running down the clock. This is again not something I do. I usually try to come in because I think they're switch locked. So I would like to use the switch lock here. This weather ball will do a lot of damage, but not as much what it did to the counter Ninetales. It's worth keeping that shield. Yeah, farm up a little bit more. Oh, and they catch the Rock Slide, which is unfortunate. But in comes the Politoed, and I think Politoed will be able to outmatch because it had some residual energy, gets the Earthquake quicker. Earthquake one-shots it, and in comes that Pelipper. Now getting this last weather ball is very clutch, because if the Pelipper had enough, they could have gone for back-to-back weather ball to the Probopass, and that would have been enough to take the Probopass out. And here I think all he needs to do is shield and hope to spark down. So one weather ball comes through. Will the next one come through? No, that spark went through earlier, which takes the Pelipper out. Very close, very well played. So I think it's 2-1 at the moment. Let's see what's the next opponent's gonna be. This is very cool that he's using all Shadow in Go Battle League. In comes a Sandslash, which is a favorable match. The Weather Ball will do a lot, the Ice Punch will not do anything, the Bulldoze will not do anything. If they're running Gyro Ball, will not do that much as well, so it's a very favorable lead. Throws the Weather Ball, gets the shield. The Sandslash is still sticking around, so it's gonna get the next Weather Ball. A Blizzard from Sandslash may actually do quite a lot of damage, but it's still gonna be resisted. So let's see, it gets both of the shield, looking quite good for Chipperpoke here. The Bulldoze, he shields the Bulldoze, which is questionable because Politoed would have definitely taken the Bulldoze quite well. But it's actually worth to have the health here, so I think it's the right call. Or that Weather Ball does so much damage to Politoed. He's deciding to shield and keep the health, which is very, very, very nice, because there will be so much energy advantage here. Whatever comes in is gonna get a move. He has the Earthquake. In comes a Vaporeon. I think this Earthquake will do heaps of damage. Yep, the Earthquake does a lot of damage, and the Water Gun will not be able to get to a move. Oh no, I think it's a CMP tie. I think it's an Aqua Tail's gonna come in from Vaporeon, but it's not enough. Like it was a resisted move anyway, and Vaporeon didn't like. Politoed has a bit of bulk to it anyway. So it takes both of the things out. In comes a Moltres. Okay, so it's a spicy rank 2-ish battles, but still it shows a sweep by, I don't know if it's a sweep by Politoed. So now on to the next match, on to the last match. He's already 3-1 up. Let's see what he's gonna do in the last match. I quite like this team. If you have the resources to make Shadow Pokemon, it's sometimes worth it. The extra damage is actually quite good. And yeah, he could have actually gone 5-0. Thinking about the first match, if he actually swapped out, probably would have been better. Oh, he's got an amazing lead with counter Ninetails against Politoed. All he needs to do is throw those weather balls, and the Ninetails will only have a Psyshock or Solar Beam to threaten Politoed, which is not a bad thing. He lets it go through, does amazing amount of damage. Weather Ball does so much damage for such a cheap move, it's amazing. In comes Meganium, complete hard counter city. The Weather Ball will go through. See, this is where I do a bit differently. I try to farm up enough energy, and usually people don't shield my moves, but here they do shield it, so I think maybe I should be, when I'm switching in. Ooh, a Solar Beam comes through. That would have done a bit of damage. Yeah, if I switch in, I think I should, from looking at his way of battling, I think I shouldn't just try to overfarm. I think a lot of the times I try to overfarm and I end up losing the games. In comes a Clefable. Charm is resisted. This is looking really good for the counter Ninetails. Ninetails gonna go for that Weather Ball, gets the last shield, and I think he'll still be able to. Will the Charm take him out? Nah, I think he'll be able to get to the Weather Ball, and I don't think it will one-shot it, but he has Probopass in the back, so... Oh, it's quite close. The fire spins are gonna go, and it's a simultaneous KO. I think it just come back with oh, he's actually gonna come back with Probopass, and well, at this moment you can even spark down. Weather Ball comes through, Probopass can tank it, as I told earlier. It's a very strong, it's a very good shiny to have. I actually don't have a good, I did not make a Probopass because I just did not have a good IV nose patch, which was a shadow, which is a shame. By looking at his battles, I probably would have been like to try it myself. But anyways, there's his 4-1 in early rank with all shadow power. So thank you so much for this submission, Chipperpoke, and hope you enjoyed this these voiceovers. And I will be making a video very soon because I used the Talonflame with Community Day move, and I did really well with this, and I think it's a underrated new Pokemon which has came to Great League. I haven't seen many of them. I think I've only faced one of them in my sets, and I went 13 out of 15 in the first 3 sets, and then the next 3 I actually went 5 out of 10. Sorry, the next 2 I went 5 out of 10 in one day, and the only reason I went 5 out of 10 is some of the times it's the Incinerate. I over tap and I don't actually get the Brave Bird in. So you just know if that Brave Bird goes through, you win the game, but sometimes that Incinerate, you over tap, you get that Incinerate and it's 5 turns and you just clicking on it and it's still not going. It's quite frustrating. But yeah, I look forward to that video. But yeah, thanks, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. Thanks. Bye.